Hi everyone, good evening. I hope I'm audible to everyone. This is a short 30-minute event. We will first look what has happened in the last 2-3 days, and then we will discuss about investing in ETFs, why this is a good time to invest in ETFs. Okay. So, as Ranjita has introduced myself, my name is Robin Joseph. I am a SEBI registered investment advisor and also a certified financial planner. I have been involved in the equity market from 2006 onwards and have more than 20 years of experience. So that's a brief about me. We'll start with the presentation. Okay. Okay, so this is the first slide. Okay, last 3 days has been quite a chaos in the markets. Right now, you need to ask yourself in this correction which has happened in the last 2-3 days, what kind of investor are you? What have you done? Have you done panic selling? Have you done buy more in dips, or are you praying for more fall in the market so that you can buy more? So these are the three options. The fourth option is, which I have not put, is like me. I'm sitting in the sideline waiting for the market to stabilize, correct itself, and then we will enter the market in full blow. Okay. So you have to ask yourself, in all these three types of investor, where are you sitting? And I would prefer that you're sitting like me in the sidelines. Okay, because this is quite a dangerous fluid situation. Let the market stabilize, let it settle for a while, and then we can enter. Okay. So right now, yesterday the market went down. There was a global sell-off in the last 2 to 3 days. Everyone knows the reason. One is US recession fears. Second is unwinding of the yen carry trade because of the interest rate arbitrage. And the third, and the most important, the tensions in Middle East. And also the fourth is the tension which is happening in the neighboring country. All this has led to India VIX going up by 52%, which has never happened. The last time it happened was in 2015. We have never seen Japanese stock exchange Nikkei going down by 12%. Okay, and thankfully today it went up by 10%. Stocks like Intel, Apple, SoftBank, all have tanked. Cryptos have crashed. Okay, so there is some worrisome factor in the markets right now. If somebody asks me, is the sell-off over? The answer is the sell-off is not over. Uh, Today I was talking to a fund manager here. I would say investment advisor. He handles about 2,000 crores of portfolio. So I asked him, is the sell-off over? What is happening in the next week? He made a good point. He said, let's say you have a ligament fracture about 2 days back. Would you start playing cricket after 2 days from now on? The answer is no. You will better rest. So that's the same definition over here. There is a fracture in the markets. It's better to rest in the sidelines and see what is happening. We will enter when the market stabilizes and get settles. At this point, as investors, what should we do? Okay, first is don't panic. Do not start selling everything. Okay, as I've said, and this is the fifth time I'm emphasizing the point that please wait for the markets to settle and stabilize. Nifty right now is at 24,000. If it falls below 24,000, 23,800, you might see 23,300. That is the 100 DMA. And if you see it going below 23,300, then maybe you can see 22,000. So that's basis the charts. We cannot time the markets, so that's why let's wait and settle. There are a lot of boosters which is going to happen. US Fed might increase the rates in September. If that announcement comes, the volume of the rate cut will also substantially help the market in stabilizing and taking it back to 25,000 levels. Second part is, do not stop your SIP. Continue with your SIP, but ensure that your SIP is pivoted toward large caps now. Third point, be aware of your financial goals and keep some cash in handy. Warren Buffett is keeping one third of his kitty in cash right now. So he's keeping around 150 billion or 200 billion dollars in cash. When he sees the opportunity, he will start buying stocks. So same things over here. Market might correct more. There might be 4 to 5% correction more till there's a strong support in Nifty at 23,200. Okay, you might see bounce back from 23,200. If you see some bounce back, start putting the cash which you have kept. Fourth and most important, what is happening in the last 2 years is small small and mid cap have rallied humongously, and it's quite expensive. The rally that has happened in small and mid cap is bit bit hard to believe, but that has happened. But the most important point is, will this rally continue? That's quite doubtful. In the next slides, I have told you that. Fifth is stay away from sectors which have given a great run. Okay, avoid sectors like railway, defense, thematic sectors which have actually given a good run. Uh, there are doubts by a lot of equity research analysts that this run may not continue for the next 2 years time. Sixth point is build a strong core portfolio with large cap stocks, strong businesses, high growth, high quality companies. I'll detail that in the next slide. And the seventh and most important, I talk to a lot of youngsters, and I see their portfolio is pivoted towards small and mid cap. If you think your small and mid cap stocks have given a good run, do some profit booking. So these are seven important things which I would, as an investor, as an advisor, would tell my investor and my clients. Okay, so I'll just scrape through these slides. This is an important slide which says be cautious of small and mid cap. Evidence clearly shows that if there is a rally, a huge rally in small cap and mid cap for continuous 3 year, the fourth year, the small and mid cap corrects, and the fourth to sixth year, which is the fifth to sixth year, the returns are very flattish. So this is what is happening. 3 years of strong rally. Fourth year, we are seeing a correction. Fifth and sixth year would more or less be. So that's why be cautious in small and mid cap. Your allocation in SEP or your allocation in small and mid cap should not be more than 20, a max 30% right now. Very sensitive stage at this point. This is avoid companies and micro bubbles. Okay, these are sectors which has given a good run. Your mid cap index, your small cap, your industrial capex, IPO, PSU, reality, railways, and all. Getting hurt has a higher chance because past winners cannot be expected that they become future winners. So the momentum in the last 2 years have come from low quality, low growth stocks and thematic sectors, which analysts, most of the analysts will hard to believe this momentum will continue for the next 1 or 2 years. That's why try building a strong portfolio tilted towards large caps, tilted towards high growth and high quality stocks. Okay, this is the reason why I'm saying always that start considering allocation in large cap. If you have seen profit booking, if you have seen profits in small and mid cap, start allocating more of your asset allocation to a large caps. This is a very good chart which says the mid cap and small cap to Sensex ratio. Whenever you see the mid cap and the small cap above the 0.35 level, that means small and mid cap are expensive, and there's a lot of fraud in the market right now, small or mid cap. So we have reached the same stage right now where LC means prefer large cap. Okay, when when it's a lower mid cap and small cap to Sensex ratio, then at that time we prefer small and mid cap. SMID means a small and mid cap. LC means large cap. So right now in July 24, August 24, the analyst and advisor saying it's time to build more on the large cap front. Okay, and the last 2 years, if you see large cap valuations are pretty favorable, very reasonable right now. A lot of large cap stocks, especially banking, Most of the big large cap stocks like Reliance, Larsen and Toubro, a lot of other companies are at a very good valuations. Okay, and if you see the trend for the last 2 years, the amount of money that is being flowing into mutual funds, 60 paisa of rupees, 60 paisa out of every rupees 10 is flowing in large cap. Okay, so large cap has been neglected, but time has come now. Large cap will start becoming a winner right now. Okay, this is more of what has happened, what should be asset allocation and all. Now, moving on to the most important part, what should you do? Okay, you need to cautiously start investing in ETFs. ETFs, most of you know what is that? It's just a basket of securities which is traded in a stock exchange. Operationally, it's more like mutual fund, but you can do it's in your demat account. You can trade anytime. It's real time. Okay, and this is part of the passive funds, where in passive funds we have ETFs, we have index funds. And we have seen in India that passive funds are gaining traction. The reason being because 52% of active funds are underperforming. People are preferring passive funds and ETFs. The reason because expense ratio is lesser. There's high inflows. There's no fund manager bias, and there's a lot of diversification. Okay, to minimize your risk. And this is the growth of passive funds and ETFs. So what we have seen, the total asset under management in mutual fund, it was 8% in June 20. It has gone to whopping 17% in June 24. And I will be not shocked in the coming years that it will start reaching 30-35%, which is more prevalent in the US markets, that ETFs normally forms around 30% passive and passive funds. Okay, so this is somebody asked me, out of this passive funds, what is the distribution of ETFs and equity funds? So ETFs constitute around 83% of passive funds, while equity index funds 17%. People ask me the same question: do you prefer ETFs and index? I, as an advisor, I normally prefer ETFs, but there are a lot of advisors who advise on index funds. Okay. Okay, now this is a cost comparison and the comparison between index funds and ETFs. This is more of ETFs. First, in ETF, 2%. Tracking error, which is the deviation from the index. ETFs have a lower tracking error because in index funds, the fund manager prefer to keep some part of cash. So that's why there's a lower tracking error in ETFs. Returns, where we have seen marginally higher in ETFs. Why I prefer ETFs? I'll give you a few dates, especially 4th of June, when the election result was coming. By 11 a.m., the market had tanked by around 6%. Nifty had tanked by 6%. I had told my clients and my members, start taking ETFs, because right now majority seems to come into the stable government. And a lot of people bought ETFs at that time. They bought CPSC, public sector undertaking, they bought bank Bs and Nifty Bs. And there were a lot of other guys who were buying mutual funds. They thought, okay, at the end of the day, I'll buy mutual funds. But what happened when in mutual funds, when they had given their request for purchase, the clearinghouse rejected, or something happened with the clearinghouse and the brokerage firm, and the request did not go through. And what happened in the 5th of June when the market went up by 4%? These guys, all who bought mutual funds, were in a loss. Were in a loss. Okay. That's the reason why I prefer ETFs. Second reason is, when I was seeing a lot of momentum happening in IT sector, namely TCS, because of its result, Infi because of its result, we could see in their performance also. I told my clients, start buying ITBs at 35, 36 rupees when it was there, and right now it's hovering around 41, 42. Okay, so that's one point. Okay. And yesterday also, when ETFs, when Nifty tanked by 800 points, some of my clients also bought ETFs at that stage, mainly Nifty Bs. In ETFs, there are 2 points of concern. One is you need to buy ETFs which has high liquidity. Okay, always prefer ETFs with high volume. Higher the liquidity, it's easier to buy and sell ETFs. And we as investors, we are smart. We will always go for. We should always go for ETFs which has higher liquidity, which has higher volumes. Okay, and this is very much. Uh, Even in Zerodha, if you're buying your ETFs from any of your demat account, it will show the average volume levels, and there you can differentiate if the liquidity level is low or high. But always go for ETFs which are high liquidity. Last point is there is a price and NAV gap of ETF because ETFs are normally based on market and demand of stocks and all. Okay, so there is an intrinsic value of an ETF which is INAV and the price. But if you see a major gap between price and INAV, then do not buy. A lot of people ask me, do I have to be concerned with price and NAV? So yesterday when I was checking, when the market had tanked by 3%, I was checking the price, ETF price, and the INAV of Nifty Bs. I only saw 0.45 paisa difference, 45 paisa difference. So Nifty Bs was 270.95. That was the price, and INAV was 270.5. So not a major difference. So good ETFs, especially of Nippon and SBI, I would suggest go for ETFs of these two AMC. Okay, this is the most important slide. This is where I am going to tell where to invest right now. Okay, a lot of my investors and clients have actually shifted to ETF style of investing. I normally tell them diversify your entire asset allocation basis different sectors. Okay. So if you clearly look at the slide, a Nifty B is a composition of the Nifty 50 stocks where it's predominantly large caps. And as I've said earlier in the slides, large caps are undervalued right now. Right now, upside is very much expected. Bank Bs, I have been buying bank Bs, buying dips for in bank Bs because private banks like HDFC, Axis, ICICI, Kotak, they are still expected to join the rally. Their price to book value is still low. If you have sufficient money, start buying on dips on bank Bs. A lot of people ask me HDFC Bank लूं या Kotak लूं या Axis लूं. I normally tell them just be assured buy bank Bs because over there you have a private bank composition of all private banks, so that will help you in diversifying. One of my favorites this month has been ITBs. A strong performance of ITBs, around 10 to 15% jump in ITBs because of TCS and INFI performance. The momentum will continue in ITBs. If the US Fed starts cutting the interest rate, you will see a bump up in the BFSI sector, and a lot of tenders and a lot of projects from BFSI will flow to IT sector in India. So I would say ITBs is my strong play. Infra Bs has always been on the good side. Last 2 3 years have been positive for infra and capital goods industry. And with this current government, Modi 3.0 also banking more on capex, we'll see strong play in infra. ICICI NV20 is a value Nifty 50 value 20 stocks where the most valued 20 stocks are picked. In the same way, you have low volatility stocks as well, ETFs as well, which you can Google and buy. Uh, One my piece of a personal favorite, which I'm telling my clients right now is since market is fluid, very dangerous, very in a very what a chaotic situation right now. FMCG IETF is a good sector to buy. Here you will have a plethora of all HUL, Marico, Dabur, ITC, Tata Consumer. So this is a good sector to start investing. Okay, mid cap Bs I would stay away from it. If I see a strong correction, I would start buying it at that time. Pharma Bs, one of my favorite right now as well because when there's a correction, defensive sectors like pharma, FMCG, capital goods. These are the one who actually ride. Auto Bs have given a good run. That's why I positioned 5% in Auto Bs. There are a lot of ETFs like Nasdaq ETF, which is MON 100. Okay, while Nasdaq is correcting. It has corrected from 18,700 to 16,200. If you see it correct more 5%, good time to build portfolio in Nasdaq. PSU Bank Bs is also a good ETF. Most of these ETFs are of Nippon AMC because there's a high volume over there and it's very liquid. Also, SBI Nifty ETF and SBI Sensex ETF has it's one of the largest ETFs in the country because the biggest organization, which is the EPFO, Employee Provident Fund organization, prefer to rest its money in SBI ETFs. PSU Bank, the value is still there. The scope of more improvement in their prices. Right now, for 10 or 15 years, PSU Bank were in a doldrum in low category, low valuation. It is jumping up. There's a lot of potential in PSU Bank. If you see PSU Bank correcting, rather than buying Bank of Baroda or Canara Bank, you can simply buy PSU Bank fees in bulk. CPSC ETF has been doing very well for the last 1 or 2 years. There's still potential. While it has given a good run, I would say buy in dips in CPSC ETF. So this is my entire story. How to invest right now when market is correcting, what to buy. Just be cautious in small and mid cap. Build more portfolio in large caps. Okay, so that was my take. Any questions, Rajita? Should we take it now or should we take it later on?
We can take it later on.
Okay, great. Okay, somebody saying please talk in Hindi. So, okay, what I'll do, I'll summarize the entire thing in Hindi. Okay, I'll just take 1 or 2 minutes. ओके सो कहानी ये है कि अभी करेक्शन चल रहा है. आपको कैसा इन्वेस्टर बनना है कि इज बेस्ट दैट आप साइड लाइन में बैठे रहिए. जब मार्केट पूरी तरह स्टेबलाइज हो जाएगा, सेटल हो जाएगा, तभी आप इन्वेस्ट करिए. मार्केट क्या सेल ऑफ पूरा हो चुका है? मेरे को लगता नहीं है कि सेल ऑफ पूरा खत्म हो गया है. अभी थोड़ा और सेल ऑफ है. निफ्टी का सपोर्ट मेरे को दिख रहा है 23,300. I can expect a bounce back from here, but no one can time the market. So let's wait. ये है इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग्स एक इन्वेस्टर को करना है कि पैनिक नहीं होना है, अपना सिप को स्टॉप नहीं करना है, अपने जो फाइनेंशियल गोल्स को हमेशा रखना है इंपॉर्टेंस में. स्मॉल और मिड कैप से अभी दूरी रहिए. जो सेक्टर्स अभी लास्ट 2-3 साल में भाग चुके हैं उनसे भी दूर रहिए. लार्ज कैप्स में स्पेशली बिल्ड करिए. हाई क्वालिटी हाई ग्रोथ सेक्टर्स में इन्वेस्ट करिए. अगर आप स्मॉल और मिड कैप में आपने काफी प्रॉफिट बुकिंग कर दिया है तो अगर आपने देखा है कि स्मॉल और मिड कैप में काफी वैल्यूएशन हो गए हैं, काफी प्रॉफिट हो रहा है, तो आप थोड़ी प्रॉफिट बुकिंग देख सकते हैं. ये है स्लाइड स्मॉल और मिड कैप का. कह रहा था कि वी कैन एक्सपेक्ट ए करेक्शन एनी टाइम सून इन स्मॉल एंड मिड कैप. These are
I think there is some network issue right now. We are connecting back with the Robins. Yeah. There's something network issues going on. Let's give 5 minutes. Sir, you're on mute, Robins.
Okay, sorry.
Sir, you're on mute. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, okay, fine. ओके यहाँ मैं बता रहा हूँ कि ईटीएफ्स में इन्वेस्ट वाई बिटवीन ईटीएफ्स एंड इंडेक्स फंड में ईटीएफ्स क्यों बेटर है बिकॉज ऑफ एक्सपेंस रेशियो लोअर है, ट्रैकिंग एरर कम है, रिटर्न ज़्यादा है। 2 पॉइंट्स में कंसर्न है, लिक्विडिटी और प्राइस और एनएवी गैप। इसके लिए सॉल्व करने के लिए आई वुड सजेस्ट दैट ऑलवेज गो विद द ईटीएफ्स व्हिच इज हाई लिक्विड, हाई वॉल्यूम एंड where you see a lot of people buying. And lastly, this is the slide which says which ETFs to buy. ये निफ्टी 20 है, अगर आपको दिख रहा है करेक्शन होते हुए निफ्टी 20 खरीदते रहिए जस्ट टू बी जो सबसे सेफ इन्वेस्टर है। आई वुड सजेस्ट दैट प्लीज बाइंग निफ्टी 20 इफ आपको बाय करना है कुछ, if you're not able to stop yourself from buying, just buy nifty 20 right now, don't go to any specific stocks as of now. Okay, so this is my plans. One is as I'm a SEBI registered investment advisor, I have two plans. One is comprehensive financial plan, which is where I provide retirement planning, investment planning, insurance planning, tax planning, a complete docket in Excel and Word doc to you, which will be a holistic financial plan for you. The next is the build your wealth plan, which is focusing mainly in investment planning, what stocks to buy, what ETFs to buy, what IPO to buy, which mutual funds to buy. This is mainly building your wealth, building your wealth. So the price for a financial plan is 12,000. For building your wealth, 16,000. I offer 20% more discount to TradeBox subscribers as well. And to subscribe, you can go to tradeboxlive.com. Over services, you can go to my field, Robin Joseph, and over there you can do the subscription. So thank you all. I hope you enjoyed the session. Now I'm ready to take any questions you have. If anybody has any questions, they can put it in the chat room. I'll be happy to answer that.
Yeah, we are open for the questionnaire round. If you have any doubt, any questions, please, audience, you can ask Robins right now. Yeah, I'm doing that. I think you can unmute yourself now and please ask question if you have any. Alok, are you able to unmute yourself? Please try now.
Alok, you can put your question in the
Hey,
chat room.
hi.
If it's possible,
Yeah, hey,
I'll
hi.
answer that. Hi.
Hey,
Hi, Alok.
hey, hi, Robin. Thank you very much. Robin, I'm having two questions. A, if you can go to your last slide where you have shown all the ETF. Could you please
Yeah.
go to that slide?
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. So in this one, when I see that list of the ETF, and especially the first one, Nifty 50, which you had given the highest percentage, 25%. However, below that one, when I look at these 25%, if I am investing, which is in nothing but all the companies which are already in below, right? So it means it is a duplicate. So right from bank V's until your auto B's, whatever the percentage you have mentioned, everything get covered in the first 25%, not even a single company is missing. So
Yeah,
why
there
to
will
do
be
the
very strong. Yeah, there will be strong overlapping.
right? So is there any point of having a duplicates? Either go with the bank B's, means no need to increase the row item or line items in your the account, or buy maybe selective couple of the ETFs, right?
Yeah, I
So
totally agree. Yeah. तो आलोक जी, नॉर्मली अगर मैं आप म्यूचुअल फंड के बारे में भी कहता हूँ, ओके, नॉर्मली एज
I'm
एडवाइजर्स,
hmm, I'm comfortable in
एडवाइस,
English, so it's okay. Either
ओके,
okay. Yeah,
ठीक है, मैं
yeah.
थोड़े हिंदी वाले भी तो आई विल बी
अच्छा अच्छा ठीक है
कंफर्टेबल.
ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है.
Normally as advisors also, this percentage allocation, don't put too much heart into it. This is just a reference point, okay. As advisors, when mutual funds also, the first is always a Nifty index fund. Could be UTI Nifty index fund or HDFC Nifty index fund. उसके बाद सेकंड में आता है पराग पारिक फ्लेक्सी कैप फंड, ओके.
Correct.
When I see overlapping between these two funds, it's quite high, okay.
Correct.
I totally
Correct.
agree with your point that there will be strong overlapping, होएगा 40 से 50%, but this percentage allocation, don't take it as a reference point. Maybe when you are seeing a dips, buy it in separate sectors as well. वही मेरा point था. But हाँ, overlapping strong है, because if you buy Nifty Bs, पर ये देखो बैंक Nifty Bs और बैंक Bs में देखेंगे, lot of other banks are also not part of it, like Bandhan, AU, the smaller banks are not part of it, okay. ITBs में smaller mid cap ITs and all there, okay. तो Nifty Bs, अगर आपको इस करेक्शन के टाइम पर अगर किसी को लेना है तो एक मैं एक बात बताता हूँ. जब कल मार्केट 11 बजे को गिरा था 800 पॉइंट, there must be, I got 10 pings on my WhatsApp, and you will be surprised to know, out of the 10 pings, 50% of the guys asked me one question, जो मैंने स्टार्टिंग में स्लाइड दिखाई थी आपको, कि मैं बेचूं या वेट करूं या खरीदूं. तो आप हैरान हो जाएंगे कि काफियों ने पूछा कि मैं क्या स्टॉक्स खरीदूं अभी. So this is the resilience of Indian investors, especially retail investors, and यही resilience हमने वो अपने domestic institutional investors को भी दिया है. So that's why I asked them right now at this time, buy Nifty Bs, okay. Nifty might go to 23,200, take a support. If it doesn't take a support, then 22,000 is maybe going there. But things what I can see which is happening is US Fed rate cut. पहले तो हम सोच रहे थे 0.25% कट होएगा. अभी सुनने में आया है कि 0.5% कट होएगा सितंबर में, फिर 0.5% दिसंबर में होएगा. अगर वो हुआ तो we can expect lot of momentum happening in market, actually going to 25,000 level.
Okay, so maybe my question was purely on that slide. I think so, because I was finding a lot of duplicate, and to be very honest, I foresee not even a 50, 60, 70, 80%. It is a much more than 80% overlapping, right? I will not be surprised even if I can say that all 100%, right? So that's what it is. So maybe I was finding that if anyone is doing in one, you put whatever the percentage in the one ETF, that is Nifty 50.
What you can do, let's say right now, if my personal favorite would be right now, go for pharma, FMCG, bank Bs. Okay, if you ask me, these are my personal favorites right now to invest.
Okay, understood. That is making sense. Second question is, and this is just an observation and as well as the data point. In last maybe the 30, 40 years, if we take any 5 consecutive years, it may be, let's say, 82 to 87, 83 to 88, or 95 to 2000, or 2001 to 2006, means any consecutive 5 years.
Okay.
Do you see that in any 5 years that large cap has beaten the mid cap?
Large caps have beaten the.
Whether large cap has given the higher return than the mid cap?
Okay. Possibility will be lower, but I will add one more point to it, which has been substantiated by MFA, which says only 52%, only 52% of investors continue their SIP for more than 1.5 years. Okay. अगर जो लोग अभी स्मॉल और मिड कैप में भी इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं, they are not investing after 1.5 years. They then rely on large caps. अगर आपकी
नहीं,
बात मैं मानता हूँ
मैं
कि
दूसरे
आपकी
का केस नहीं है, आप क्योंकि लॉन्ग टर्म एडवाइजर हैं. आई एम आस्किंग फॉर दिस क्वेश्चन बिकॉज यू आर maybe you are consistently saying that it is a time for large cap, but
yeah,
if the whomsoever is having a horizon of minimum 5 years, and that should be the majority in the investors, if they do not know 5 years visibility, I think they should never come to the equity, right? So they are just a luck game, right? So in the last 3-4 years, whatever it has given, right? Even my massage guy is saying that he has started investing, right? So Panwala is also investing because he saw that so much of the return, but that is a gamble. But if it is called investment and the horizon is minimum 5 years, I do not know what is the point of investing in large cap. Maybe as a stability, some portion. I'm just saying that, okay, some portion always should be there. And some portion maybe 25, 30%, 40%, depending upon the age, right? That is fine. But if the horizon 5 years, you know that no major expenses are expected to come, and which you are clear, go for it. Mid cap. In fact, when it is down, then it is all the more better time. But you are saying other way around.
I'm saying other way around. A lot of advisor would say the other way around, because a lot of people, a lot of youngsters, the Generation Z, okay, have started investing in small and mid cap. Okay. And the kind of growth that they had, they have not seen a correction so far. Okay. And correction is very much imminent, and it's happening in mid cap and small cap right now. And the empirical evidence which I showed you on that slide clearly shows after 3-year rally, fourth year is a correction, which we are looking at right now. Fifth and sixth year would more or less would be flattish. तो मैं वही बात बोल रहा हूँ कि फोर्थ और फिफ्थ सिक्स्थ ईयर में आप थोड़ा लार्ज कैप में पिवट करिए, ठीक है. बट एज यू सेड, हमें स्टेबिलिटी देखना चाहिए, डाइवर्सिफिकेशन देखना चाहिए. दैट्स व्हाई टाइम अभी का है लार्ज कैप में इन्वेस्ट करने का. दैट्स माय पॉइंट. I'm not saying don't invest in smaller mid cap ever in your lifetime ever. I'm saying अभी का टाइम है कि large cap में invest करिए.
Yeah, that is clear. Actually, Robin, my actually, if I'm, because data says that in last 50 years, any consecutive 5 years, and maybe the data can be overplayed somewhere. I do not know that one, but it says that the large cap has never ever beaten the mid cap, never in any 5 years, right? So if you are just invested and forgot that for next 5 years, whether you are doing SIP or you are doing it one time, and if you are able to sustain that 5 years, because up and downs will be keep coming, as you rightly mentioned. Always it is a giving, not a 1%, 0.5% better, but it is much higher than that. That's what it is. So that's all. These two questions was more of the clarification. Thank you.